I love my wife, and I'm not gay, and I'm not, and that's what's weird about this, to have your sexuality question.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I would love to work with Eddie. Eddie won't return my calls. Maybe one day we'll have a conversation. But I think Eddie got to a place in his life. He's like, look, I've done it all.
I love my wife. I'm not gay. Eddie Murphy slams the brakes on a breakfast show rumor, flashes that $1 million grin, and still leaves the question hanging. Minutes later, Tyler Perry appears on another network, half laughing, half pleading. Man, Eddie won't return my calls. 2 sound bites, 1 invisible wall, and now a brand new storm. Actor Derek Dixon just filed a $260 million civil assault lawsuit that threatens to haul Perry's private texts into open court. Behind closed doors, Eddie's camp swaps nervous glances that feel a lot like vindication. See, this is why we keep it moving. Denzel's reps, famous for 1-sentence emails, fire off a 3-word directive, maintain professional distance, and go back to polishing Oscar-seasoned press kits. Outsiders call it overcautious, but Eddie and Denzel have lived through the Hollywood rumor furnace. They know one subpoena headline can melt years of reputation equity. Fans still chalk the silence up to creative differences, yet insiders whisper darker reasons. Old scandals, fragile legacies, and stereotypes the industry refuses to bury. Tonight we crack that silence. We'll ride shotgun on Eddie's infamous 1997 traffic stop, eavesdrop on Spike Lee calling Madea coonery, watch Denzel lift but never endorse Tyler, and hear comedians swear Hollywood stuffs every black icon into a dress before they hit the A-list. By the end, you'll see why 2 megastars keep ghosting a mogul, juggling a $1 billion studio expansion and a headline-devouring lawsuit.
Actor and comedian Eddie Murphy has a run-in with the law this morning. In this case, it involves a transvestite prostitute.
May 2nd, 1997. Santa Monica Boulevard glows red and blue as deputies flag down Eddie Murphy's Land Cruiser. Riding shotgun, a transgender woman who says she just needed the lift. No crime, no charges, yet tabloids build skyscrapers on that 30-second stop. Overnight, Eddie's raw swagger becomes late-night punchline fodder. Publicists scramble, studios panic, producers quietly shelve edgier projects. Eddie pivots fast, voicing Donkey and Shrek, cracking dad jokes on Ellen, selling nostalgia with Coming to America. Each move pushes him away from rumor fuel and toward family brand gold. Now 2025, news breaks that Tyler Perry faces a $260 million assault suit. Eddie's phone lights up. Did you see this? Texts a longtime agent. The team's response is unanimous. Replay risk 2.0. Any appearance beside Perry could splice Eddie's old patrol car footage with fresh courthouse B-roll. Social media sleuths would feast, brands would flinch. The lesson of 97 still burns. One innocent moment can morph into a lifetime meme. So when Tyler calls, voicemail fills, and Eddie keeps scrolling. Yet, Eddie's dodge isn't just personal. It's reinforced by a filmmaker who turns cultural critique into artillery. His name, Spike Lee, and his next quote will scorch a $1 billion brand in 12 words.
But I still think there a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money, breaking records, but we could do better.
2009, a Film Fest panel. Spike Lee leans forward, locks eyes with the moderator, and detonates a line that still rattles PR bunkers. It's coonery and buffoonery, straight up. Translation? Tyler Perry's Madea franchise isn't harmless slapstick. It's a high-budget minstrel echo that lets mainstream audiences laugh at blackness. Spike isn't some fringe contrarian. He's the director who turned Brooklyn Heat into Do the Right Thing and forced studios to bankroll unfiltered black narratives. When he calls your work buffoonery, the culture listens, and Eddie takes notes. Spike's gripe is bigger than wigs. It targets Hollywood's binary depiction of black men, hyper-aggressive or hilariously harmless. Medea, he argues, reinforces the latter. Eddie's team, already allergic to anything that revives 97, decides Spike's critique adds another landmine. Perry's new lawsuit, that just flavors the minefield with fresh clickbait. Pairing with a mogul under legal fire would make Eddie look desperate for relevance or worse, insensitive to alleged victims. They pass again. But Spike's blowtorch is only half the heat. Across town, Denzel Washington applauds Spike on stage while letting his silence toward Perry do the loudest talking. Throw in a lawsuit headline, and that silence sounds like a gavel.
Spike Lee has put more African Americans to work in this business than anyone else.
Governor's Awards 2015, tuxes, gold statuettes, camera flashes. Denzel Washington strides up to honor Spike Lee. This man has put more African Americans to work than anyone in this business. Ovation erupts, yet not a syllable about Tyler Perry, who just poured 9 figures into his Atlanta studio. That omission was surgical then. In 2025, with a $260 million lawsuit heating up, it looks prophetic. Washington's resume is a fortress. Glory, Malcolm X, Training Day, Fences, roles carved from dignity and moral complexity. His team maintains that fortress with an image integrity clause. No alcohol ads, no reality show stunts, no slapstick cross-dressing cameos. A courthouse spotlight on Perry threatens collateral glare. Legal discovery could dredge up emails, call logs, even courtesy notes from potential collaborators. Denzel's brand managers won't risk subpoenas that drag their client's name into sidebars. They circulate a short memo, 0 engagement until legal resolution, and lock the strategy vault. It's not shade, it's survival math. And the math worsens when the loudest social commentators keep framing Perry as the gatekeeper of a dreaded one-dress pipeline. Eddie hears the chatter, Denzel sees the analytics, and both men tighten their silence. Meanwhile, comedians crank up the volume, alleging Hollywood's secret obsession with feminizing black icons. The dress theory gains momentum, and the lawsuit becomes fresh Exhibit A. That's something about Perry Court's controversy, like moths to studio lights.
It's like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress? So the writer comes in, I think he's the writer, he's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail, so he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on, and what, a prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that, I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny.
Man, it's just like Tyler Perry. He paints a very negative portrayal of black men. We ain't that bad. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, Tyler Perry makes us seem like we ain't shit. And it'd be the well-off brothers. It'd be the brothers that be doing something. The brothers be having careers. Like in one movie, the guy was a lawyer. He ended up leaving his wife for another woman. That's the guy that got paralyzed. I think that was Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And then Temptations, I think the dude was like a wrecking mogul or something. It's just like people who got their lives together. Remember one movie, dude from Juice and Girlfriends, I can't remember his name. Dude looked like Mano. What's the dude's name, man? He was Raheem in Juice, I don't remember. But he was a dude that was wearing a suit and tie all of the time, but he was going around raping girls and somebody killed him. It's like, damn, Tyler Perry. He had Michael Ealy hanging the little baby out the window and like, but Tyler, we ain't that bad. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, he paints us out to be real negative, man. And I just feel like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder if Tyler Perry is like, he's on a crusade to make black men look as bad as possible so women don't want us no more, so he can have all the men to himself.
Dave Chappelle spins it like campfire folklore. Mid-shoot, a producer wheels out a floral sundress. Slip it on, Dave. Audiences will howl. Chappelle refuses, flies home, and later calls it proof of a hidden Hollywood script. They got one dress for every brother. Charlemagne the God doubles down on The Breakfast Club. Tyler Perry makes black men look bad, bruh. Cat Williams lists graduates of Dress U, Kevin Hart, Martin Lawrence, Terry Crews. TikTok overlays each cameo with Medea clips. Caption, another one down. Enter Perry's brand new legal saga. Comedian sees it. See, controversy follows the dress. Hashtags pop Medea madness, dress and distress, turning a civil complaint into meme fuel. Eddie's publicist screens the noise charts. Lawsuit mentions spike 400% when combined with dress emasculation keywords. Denzel's analytics firm warns that social engagement around Perry now clusters with alleged abuse and toxic stereotypes. A cocktail no legacy actor can sip without staining the glass. Yet Perry isn't retreating. He fires back on HBO, tracing Medea to the aunties who raised him. Lawsuits be damned. But as he cues up the backstory, Eddie and Denzel's camps sharpen calculators. Goodwill versus Google Trends, dignity versus deposition. The numbers won't balance, and the comedians just pour gasoline on the fire.
Let's get this out of the way. You had to deal with this at some point. When Medea first came out, Spike Lee called it coonery, buffoonery. And over the years, there have been a number of people who say that you're playing with negative stereotypes of black men and black women. How do you
Emasculating black men. I've heard it all, yeah.
How do you respond to that?
There's a certain part of our society, especially black people, in the culture that they look down on certain things within the culture. For me, I love the movies that I've done because they are the people that I grew up with, that I represent. And like my mother would take me into projects with her on the weekends. She'd play cards with these women. Most of them didn't have a 12th grade education, but their stories and how much they loved each other and how when they get sad about something, another one would come in and make a joke. I'm 5 years old on the floor with my Matchbox cars. I was in a masterclass for my life. So when someone says you're hearkening back to a point of our life that we don't want to talk about it, we don't want the world to see, you're dismissing the stories of millions and millions of black people. And that's why I think it's been so successful, because it resonates with a lot of us who know these women and these experiences and Uncle Joe and so on and so forth. But what is important to me is that I'm honoring the people that came up and taught and made me who I am. Their stories deserve to be told too.
Imagine a former Confederate base reborn as Tyler Perry Studios, 12 Disneylands of cinematic real estate. Reporters swoon until their microphones buzz. Tyler, care to comment on the $260 million suit just filed against you? Perry exhales, pivots, and unveils his counterpunch. Medea is a love letter to the women who saved my life. Lawsuits won't rewrite that. He paints weekend scenes, card tables, welfare checks stretched to miracles, laughter that slashed pain in half. Then he cracks open his past, a violent father, a nurturing mother, trauma transmuted into scripts. It wasn't the abuse that made me wealthy, he insists. It was her love. Box office slides flash. $1.4 billion gross, 9,000 jobs per production cycle. In the back row, a studio accountant whispers, 9,000 and climbing, if the lawsuit doesn't freeze investor nerves. For Eddie and Denzel, the math only darkens. Partnering now means sharing press junkets overshadowed by court date questions. Imagine Denzel fielding, "What does equal justice mean to you?" while a Chiron crawls, Perry faces sex assault suit. Visualize Eddie cracking jokes on set while TMZ helicopters circle overhead. Intentions aside, optics slaughter nuance. Their agents stamp the file. Return call after verdict, maybe. Hollywood tallies reputation like Vegas counts chips. Eddie Murphy's brand equity, sequels, Netflix specials, merchandising, floats near $550 million. Denzel's prestige stock hovers around $650 million, buoyed by Oscar gravity. PR firms now run a fresh crisis drill called legal volatility. Imagine a courtroom sketch of Tyler Perry flanked by Eddie or Denzel. Predictive models show a steeper 18% dip in positive sentiment within 2 days because legal accusations add moral weight memes alone can't match. Insurance brokers threaten surcharge clauses. Family-friendly advertisers brace to flee. The smartest move? Fold early. Meanwhile, Perry keeps dialing, betting one A-lister cameo could flip the public script from controversial mogul to unstoppable phoenix. But reputations are high-rise mortgages. Miss a single payment, say a questionable text disclosed in discovery, and the bank forecloses. Eddie knows. He paid interest since '97. Denzel knows. One ill-timed headline can shadow an Oscar run. Both quietly cash out of the Perry table while house lights flash warning red. Risk a dime for $1? Not with that lawsuit jackpot looming. Reputation roulette just added an extra zero, and the odds got worse for everyone but the house. The house, in this case, being the gossip ecosystem that never truly loses. 3 titans, 1 unanswered phone, and now a courtroom calendar ticking like a metronome. Eddie Murphy safeguards a comeback built on animated donkeys and nostalgia. Denzel Washington polishes a 40-year shrine to quiet gravitas. Tyler Perry fights on 2 fronts, stereotype accusations and a $260 million civil assault claim. Critics say Eddie and Denzel should stand in solidarity, a show of unity for Black Hollywood. Their managers counter that solidarity without strategy is charity for clickbait. Do they owe Tyler a public hand up while allegations swirl? Or does wisdom demand distance until verdicts drop? Maybe they're protecting their own legacies. Maybe they're waiting to see if Perry's empire weathers the storm. Silence, after all, can be both shield and chokehold. Tyler calls it dismissal of millions of aunties. Eddie calls it brand survival. Denzel doesn't call it anything. He just lets the missing words do the work. And us, we get front row seats to an industry that sells dreams but writes receipts in risk percentages. So sound off. Should Eddie finally pick up? Lawsuit be damned? Should Denzel loan gravitas to a man under fire? Or is caution king in a town where perception bankrupts faster than bad box office? Drop your verdict below, smash like, and hit subscribe. Because in Hollywood, the next subpoena could drop before the credits finish rolling.